Okay, hello everyone. We're going to be doing LeetCode question number 485, max consecutive ones. Uh, the question says, given a binary array nums, return the maximum number of consecutive ones in the array. When I first looked at this question, I thought we needed to find if it's either the maximum numbers of consecutive ones or maximum number of consecutive zeros, but I just realized it's simpler than that. It's just the only thing that we care about is ones. Okay, so uh, it's pretty simple. What we want to try to do a bit of a pseudocode is have two variables, the one to uh, one to keep track of the max, and one to keep track of the current sum. For example, we're going to iterate through this array, right? And then once we get here, the max is going to be 2 and the sum is going to be 2. But then once we go to the next index, which is 0, the max will have to be, sorry, the sum will have to be 0 because it resets to 0 since this one is not 1, is 0. But the max continues to be being 2. So and then we continue, sum being 1, sum being 2, and then when sum becomes 3, we check if sum is greater than max, and if sum is greater than max, then we have a new value for max. So the important part is having two variables and then checking them if it's checking if one is greater than the other. So let's do a for loop, as most of these questions involve. Start at position 0. Iterate through nums.length. Then go to the end. And we also need two variables, int max, which is equal to 0, int sum, which is equal to 0. So what we do is, since we only care about ones, we do if nums at position I, nums at current position, if it's equal to 1, then we increment sum by 1, right? And we do another if statement that says if sum is greater than or equal to max, then max is equal to sum. We don't need a parentheses here, brackets here, because this if statement is only going to execute the first line underneath it, which in this case it's going to be this one. According to use semicolons. Okay. So it's an int, so we're gonna have to return something at the end, which is just return sum. So return max, which is what we want. And we also need to make sure that if nums at I is not equal to 0, we need an else statement here. We should set sum back to 0, which in this case, for example here, sum is going to be equal to 1, and then on this index sum is going to be equal to 2. And then once we get here, sum goes back to 0, which this line gets executed, but then max continues to be equal to 2. So we save the 2, and we continue on with the array. And then once we get here, max will be equal to 3, and then we'll have the answer. Let's run this. Okay, we need, oh, not int I. Okay. There we go, accepted. This is a fairly easy question, as you guys can see. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. It's a really simple question. Uh, really easy. This is the way I prefer to do it. It's easier to read, in my opinion, than some other way. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.